Hello and welcome. Right, I am, well, as you can see, it's always really strange when you like say, I'm down at the shop. You think, well, they all know that. But then again, you never know. There might be somebody who's not sort of seen the channel before. So was there anything we needed from down here? It's December. We're all right. Now, we bought our other field. I'm quite pleased about that. This is actually quite a unique colour. It's a bit but battered. I was going to say buttered. A bit battered. There's the proper entrance to our... Oh, it's not. You're going across someone else's field. Ooh, my bad. My bad. Apologies. Just hope that the farmer who's actually owns it is like not watching, because seriously, I did think it was ours. Yeah, it's typical, isn't it? I just looked and I thought, that's not green. It can't be yours. I guess plant on the left. Yeah, oh, we've done very well, obviously, like collecting those glowy things that were worth 40,000, two of them. So, I mean, yeah, we've got quite a lot of cash as well. I was deliberating at work a little bit. I don't think about the game as too much, but there's like the odd thing that I think, oh, do I do this or do I do that? Or it's my, oh, no, it is definitely working. Otherwise, I won't be getting the headlights working. It's a bit of a B super. That's the way that we right. That's the real field that we've. The other one that we bought. It's not a bad sort of size field as well. We could really afford another one, but I thought if we did do that, it would be like we could leave ourselves a little bit. So there are a lot of sheds here. Trying to think though. Yeah, it's a bit of a shame, wasn't it, that we had to put that there, really. Didn't we have to do some buying and selling? Now, this is probably best to literally stick this, although we could really probably do... Oh, no. Yeah, with actually doing that. So I believe that although this has got the front loader option, it's not got that. We have got the original spongy brakes, this beautiful tractor here. Let's just drop that as well, and we want the front loadery section, which is over here. I could do, yeah. I'm not done. Oh, that really is spongy brakes. I can't get used to this. It's like really spongy. Yeah, I know it's like that, and you're like trying to adjust for it, but it's still spongier than you think it is. It's right. With the. Yeah, it's... Oh, that's true. We could actually do with that. I just looked over and I thought, that's probably not a bad idea. Should actually go over and scan the field as well, because it won't take as long with this beautiful thing. So let's get that done first, and let's have a look. Yeah, let's just stick that on first. Let's get the scanning done first, then we'll check, because I'm sure there was yeah, something we should have been selling. So, diesel, we've got to sell. We know we're selling the fertilizer. I didn't want that to get, and also it can get out of hand. I just thought just bung it that away so that you know. Sorry, I expect to read my mind. Yeah, just sell it the old-fashioned way, like I always used to in FS22, where I'm just selling it and we, you know, like just making the cash. Wow, it's spongy. I'm right. So fantastic. Yeah, just to sell it directly from the production. I will spit my words out, honest. Yeah. So I've got to be honest. Yeah, today started off as with quite a nasty bump, and quite literally quite a nasty bump. Yeah, I went up in the attic and went to grab my spare power supply that I've got. I bought it was from a server, actually. I bought it and it was quite reasonable. I bought it off eBay, I think it was, quite a few years ago. Sort of half used it a bit. Oh, where? It's a bit of the P Super. I can't see where I'm going. Where is the... There it is. There we go. Yeah, so I literally fell from the top of the ladder, and I knew I was going. That moment where you like know you're falling, and I thought, relax, just relax. I know that it came a cropper, and I literally, it could have been a lot worse. Just grazed my hand was like the thing. I mean, obviously I was relaxed, so that often helps as well. I always find when you like fall, if you like tense up, or you can really mash yourself up a good one. I mean, he still knocked the stuffing out of me. I really literally fell literally on my back. It was like that. And obviously, I always find that if the day starts off like bad, you know, like a bad, it sort of like goes that way. Almost like the universe has decided it's a bad day. And like, yeah, let's drop that down. And I would imagine we probably should know by now pretty much what that is. Oh, well, no, we knew it was good, didn't we? Yeah, that was the other reason I bought it. It was even better than this one. So I mean, yeah, that one's sort of 50-50. So there's going to be some really bad, like probably some of that band there. There's got to be another one of these that's fairly good. No, that's nearly or sandy loam. No, really, looks like one of the best of the lot in the area. Yeah, it does. So that one and that one are really quite fortunate fields. Well, some of these others are real nasty, like that's nearly all silty clay. But we will probably buy that one because it is, as I sort of said, right next to us right now. Then let's have a look. Selling. I think we've done the sales already, haven't we? We'd really do very well for buying and selling. So mineral feed, which we're not selling, we said we want 75,000. Diesel, all right, smashing. A butter also, that was it. I knew there was something. So the butter, that's why I needed to get the thing off the header. I was a bit more. So, yeah, I am really tired, really, more so than normal. I always find often these things, stressful times where you like fall and hurt yourself and all that stuff, they really do knock the stuffing out of you more than you think. So, right, let's grab that. Yes, it really does. It takes about 3 or 4 seconds. It's hard for you to adjust to where you need to be and start to start like stopping on the accelerator and like hitting the brakes. So if I look worse than normal like this, I really am. It's true. You have to actually be on the actual thing to do the. It's a bit light, isn't it? Really. Right, I think we need to drag that away, and it's probably still going to drag a little, because we do need this. Can we drag that into the building? Ooh, wow. It's not the heaviest, is it really, I suppose? It's not a nice angle either. Do you know, I think we're just going to have to abandon ship. We may have to get probably black sheep moddings, beautiful little thing, if we don't get anything in the sales over the winter, is what I'm thinking, because it's just, that's not going to cut it. It's not. It's okay for like little light things, but I mean, they're not usually that heavy, but that particular model might be for all I know. So then we want, yeah, let's go and grab this. Now this, of course, is where it's going to get interesting. Because obviously somebody forgot about getting the stuff out of the bionic, the bionic, I keep wanting to say bakery, but it's the dairy. Right, so we want to be like saying spawn and everything. We want to say spawn, and that's it. It's just those two, isn't it, really? Oh, no, buffalo milk, 2. That's it. Excellent. Right, so it probably is going to be, yeah, exactly like that. And I was right. So it does do all 3 on the other side. It's not the end of the world. Yeah, we can deal with this because we have got this way in. We could also, I suppose, take the get the fence to grab that and like bring it in for us. Would not be a bad idea. Yeah, it was not my finest hour, I definitely admit, but these things happen. And yes, let's go through and like take this all the way through. We could handball them over the fence as well, but no, that's a bit too much. It's a bit of I'm going to have to push that. I'm going to have to. I knew that if I didn't do that, apologise for the heavy handling, but this is a bit of a heavy tractor, so it goes with the territory in a way. Let's just stick that like so. In fact, actually, yeah, always trust your instincts. They said like to do it this way, although obviously, yeah, I've got to be careful. I'm quite liking this, but I still do agree with what I've been using this quite a bit now with this sort of stability. I do think it probably is better to have another set of wheels, which is what I originally did. You know, like I originally thought, oh, let's stick another 2 wheels on that to make it more stable. Now these are the real, the things that the butter obviously is the secret weapon of the. Ooh. Yeah, now I am in the middle of changing the models. Obviously, this really is a Giants model. Yeah, and I mean, when I say that, I have really changed it quite a lot, but it is still basically a Giants silo. So I've actually gone into Blender and I've made. After doing a bit of research, I never don't anyone's ever done this. I've never seen anybody do it anyway. I've gone for a hexagon. I was doing a bit of study of physics, and I don't mean that sounds really boffinly done it, but what I mean is shapes. What is the best? Now, silos are round or cylindrical for a very good reason, because you get the most surface area for like the storage of your grains. And oh wow, I never realised that. It's actually quite a bit more. Yeah, I've actually got that a bit too close to the body, because the body comes out a little bit too much. So I'm actually touching the collision that is the body of the. That is my fault, because I made the collision. Yeah, I didn't go with. I used to go with the actual body itself, but then the rope becomes a bit troublesome. Yeah, the rope sticks out, and you keep hitting it with your tractors, and because it's solid. It really does cause you issues. So yeah, so I stopped doing that, and I put a cylinder and made it invisible, and wow, and the rest is history, as the saying goes. But yeah, it's a little bit too close to the body. This is, so I'm keep hitting like the collision on the side of that. I will carry on, honest. Yeah, so. Obviously, I didn't realise in Blender. I thought, well, I've never seen the primitives, like the basic shapes. They're called primitives. Is what like a Blender and modelling calls the actual shapes, the base shapes that you have, like a circle and a square, and then obviously, wow, is these ever going to end? Not complaining, of course. I mean, yeah, it's just yeah. So I did my research with the AI's help and sort of said. Well, which is the best of shapes? Oh, my life. Which is the best of shapes? And it was that the cylinder is the best, but it's also the most wasteful for putting things in. It's obviously for grains and things like that the cylinder really is the very best shape of all for actually sticking things in. But obviously, if you was going to use it as a room, which of course they are productions rather than silos, then it's very wasteful on normal objects, which tend to be more square. But the square is also very wasteful. So the in-between of them all is a hexagon. So I've gone for a hexagonal body, even though it's very different, because physics-wise, it really is the very best of shapes. So I've literally gone with the physics. I mean, when I say that, obviously I'm trying to say the very best for like not wasting space for rooms and equipment and things like that. One day when I do get a bit better, I will make an inside for it like Omatana does with hers, and I shall probably make my door bigger, yeah, rather than the single door that it is at the minute, and the smoke screen that it is, where really it's just, the inside of a silo and there's nothing that you can actually do with it now. I thought it was 3 of these, but I might be wrong. Might be only 2's ready. Yeah, it looks like it doesn't normally take this long to. Oh, I was going to say that's a saving. Right, smashing. So we'll do as the rest is like liquid. So this sold. Yeah, it makes a change to come in anyway. Yeah, you're banking too, or your weight's all wrong, which is probably the weight. It is actually a bit too heavy, but not a lot, really. Yeah, it's more central than anything, I would have thought, but... Let's grab this and let's grab the other tractor out. At least the one good thing is about doing the manure is actually using the manure, so I'm quite happy that it's doing it as it is. So, yeah, I mean, that it obviously is in the self-sufficiency and it is using it, but at least it's going down and it's not cheating. Yeah, because I really don't want that. It's I did think I'd be sort of a fair. Imagine it is a good range. I do know that, but I mean, obviously, you don't. When you put these things down, you really don't think, you know, like, oh, I've got to be careful about the range of this. Perhaps I should, but in the sort of gaming terms, you sort of think let's just go against that. In fact, well, let's leave it on for a minute. So we've done that. Let's get this sold, and then we're going to grab the diesel, which is again going to take us up quite a bit. Oh yeah, I was also saying about, I was thinking about the baling sort of situation. Now it really is that the mover is probably one of the very best sort of all-round solutions, because you can use your trailer, so there's not an additional cost for you. If you go square bales, really you need like either a telehandler, so there's the direct cost of the telehandler, or there's the... Oh, beautiful. Not bad, just from like it's a good business. It is. Yeah, so obviously if you bought the 12,000 fantastic square baler by the ARM team, the baler's cheap as chips. Now we have got a front loader, but and it probably would handle the bales all right. But if I was going to go long term, I'd like to go something like the for a square bale loader semi-automatic, and of course then they're like 105,000 or 90,000, I think, for the cheapest square baler. Transport, loading, facilities. Yeah, 90,000. That is correct. Yeah, yeah. They are cheaper than they used to be, and I would go the G866 because it does then allow you to. Wow, I didn't see that. I don't always come in here, so yeah. Again, I have used the mover quite a lot. So I've got the original Anderson, we've got the original RQ-SAN, then we have got the G866 one, and we've got the custom modded. I've got two sort of sets of like bales, but I thought it only fair to try the two of them really. I haven't yet to do the BB mods. Now GH66 mods is one of my favourite modders, because yeah, he was my bestest pal, in FS22 all the way through with the farm, the production shed, not the farm. I keep wanting to say the farm supply production, but that is Omatana, who also was one of my right-hand supports throughout FS22. Yeah, obviously FS25's been a bit awkward because I've like done mostly my own mods, so it really. I believe that you can do this, and they are using this for the mucky. I think the diesel, yeah, you can like lug the diesel like this. It's yeah, I don't know that it comes out in tanks ever. I think it really is just liquids. I do like this, the self-sufficiency, because nearly everything comes out loose or like liquid like this, and obviously it's just like naturally the things that you can actually do. Now then, I'd still imagine, all things considered, that ours would still be better, even if something else says it's better. It doesn't actually, just say ours is the bestest. Anyway, so let's get this sold. This has got quite a bit of cash. I mean, we are doing well. It is, especially with that constant bit of fertiliser every day. It might not be a lot, but obviously fertiliser, even on hard economy, is not too terrible. But we are selling it directly. We're not like boosting the amount with the self-marketing. I keep saying self-sufficiency. Yeah, I'm getting the two interchanged. Score reward, excellent. Now we really are going to need, and I don't think we're waiting for the sales for that, a plough, the ridiculous Dominic plough. Right, let's get this solved first, one thing at a time. Yes, I've blended a few shapes this morning. This seems to actually have a water layer already. Yeah, I did blender it, but I didn't think I'd added the extra UVs for the dirt and the liquids. So no, that's not the right one. Don't want to be like cheating by mistake. Oh, that just bring to mind there was one Let's Play where the model was right like that, right next door to 82 Studios. It was, I think, at the time. Or maybe, no, I think it was 82 Studios. I used to nearly always use that in FS20. When I used that, I'd often used to go for the shop quite frequently. Later, yeah, early on, I did use that quite a lot. And I was grabbing off, because I knew I'd got, obviously, Digestate. I think it was the Slurry Yard, which is now back in the game. So, again, this is now an option. Something that, again, I've tried not to overuse it in FS22, but I think I didn't use it enough. Because again, like Missy B, all the way from FS19 was one of my absolute favourites. The Slurry Yard was so amazing, really. It's not steering as I would have expected it to, the Fen. I mean, it's a big tractor and it doesn't steer as well as obviously small and mediums, but it's still always been a fairly good steerer. I mean, I've got them on Oak City, so we'll leave that other 5,000 litres for ourselves. I just hope I remember, because I'm a terror for forgetting and like just going straight under that nozzle and buying it, because it is usually fairly cheap anyway. But we've got 5,000 litres, we should really not need to buy another sausage of diesel at all through the entire Let's Play, because there's definitely nothing there. Ooh, I've been well. Yeah, that's really seriously some dosh. It is. So then, are we going to grab the plough? And probably this is our bestest asset, I would imagine, for like ploughing. So let's just drop that for now. Although I think that's a bit of a silly place to do it, but this is me. It is true. It is true, right? So, plough. Probably that may have been why I was starting down the store, and I probably expected me to get them. Is it? No, I think it is. It looks like it was like vegetables on the field, or before. I think it was. I seem to recall the red beet that I saw on the the map when we bought it. So so it really will need a plough. Yes, there's no denying this fact at all. Fantastic. So let's grab the ridiculous Dominic plough. What are we doing as a stone picker? That is the question. I think it's here. You'd be wrong. Side? Oh, yes, it is. It used to be here, didn't it? In like... Yeah, it still is. It's only the front door. Or the side door. It depends which way you look at it. It is true. It does definitely depend upon this. Right, and so now I've confused myself totally. No, I know I need a plough. That's why I'm here. Yeah, I've yet to use a spader, but they tend to be terribly expensive, so... Let's buy you, and we do want to add the mulcher, even though it causes me a bit of grief. It's still fantastic. So let's grab that. Do we need anything else? Got front boxes and things like that, so I think not. So nearly 500,000 again. And we had obviously that before, and we bought that extra field. It looks to me like the other thing I thought was I reckon we ought to buy some more, another 100 animals. I was thinking it wouldn't hurt us if we went 100, so that our milk yield it's one of our main businesses. And I concur that this is not a bad idea. No, don't do it, not again. You've already done it once, and that was definitely not. But there is a proper entrance. Should be about here, really. So let's indicate. They're all stopping for me for some reason, which is very nice, but not expected. Yeah, you can see that you look carefully, it definitely was red beads, as you said. Yeah, for once you were totally right. So let's leave that working, and I think we'll go... No, should we do the animals now? Well, I mean, we are actually, like, lugging a lot of stuff in, so I'd say that's not a terrible idea, really. We're going to go for... Yeah, some more of these, I think. And another 100, I reckon. It's not like we can't afford it. So it's... I don't think that's a bad... Oh, there's a point, actually. Okay. No, this is Cavalier Roy. We've got 700, I think. So I'm not going to be a shrinking violet on the amounts that we're going to do. So that should be now 200 out of 712. We might buy another 100, but I'm just going to do this a little bit more slowly than, like, just do it by another field while we've got... Well, we never know what's in the sales, do you, really? So we've got... I think we're still selling our fertilizer. Have we put the manures in there? And the slurry isn't. Aha. Right, so we need to be grabbing the slurry out of the 25,000 litres. Okay, so... And, of course, we have left that. Now, where is our little John Deere? Yeah, I really think we ought to be leaving that in the, like, the loader position sort of thing as our loader, really. And I will hopefully get used to the way that the brakes are, but they're a little bit spongy. Yeah, that was not the bestest, was it, to leave it like that? Oh, and especially when you knock it like that, that really makes things worse. Yeah, because often you can't grab things like that. Yeah, the game's quite particular. It's very, very lucky there. So, slurry. Let's grab that 25 tons. So that is pretty much 2 of these. Yeah, so I did quite a bit of blendering this morning, a lot of models, but my main thing is to crack on with a proper model. And I was thinking about it earlier at work again, and I think I do like that silver. It's got a real nice sheen to it. I've never noticed that before. It's sort of really like a wet sheen to it. It's quite really, yeah. This was my own blender, but it is a bit. It's not slightly. It's almost leaning a bit, and I don't know how that's got like that. Or is it? Is it like that, or is it all right? It's hard to say, really. And the other thing is, obviously, we should be getting a bit more slurry, but yeah, it is what it is. I think there will need a larger tank if that is the case, so we might have to trade this in for the biggie or the medium. Yes, I think the medium. I don't know, on this, I think actually the large one probably is not too far off a need that we're going to have before long, because I don't think this is going to... Let's just move that a little. I think this is going to soon be outgrown if we're like buying 100 animals every so often. Excellent. Yeah, so I will carry on. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is, so far I've done the wooden section of... I'm going to split it into 2 sort of sections, and I'm hoping to do different stones on the base of the hexagon. So, like, yeah, I've got quite a few nice textures that I've been working on with the AI's help, of course. Some really nice texture files for different stones, from the Peak District stones and all of those type of things, from where I beckoned from originally in the Derbyshire Peak District. Yeah, it's my family's origins. Yeah, right. So then that should now be. It should have gone away and be quite happy, and there shouldn't be that's true. Now that can be switched off as well. Now that's not too terrible, and our production costs were not too awful either. Let's switch that off too. We don't need to be making that either. Now we could make the lime. I think we needed water if we're going to do that. The lime, is it water that the lime needs? I think it's... No, it is. You were right. Well, we have the technology. We can stick a load of water in and, like, switch the lime on as well. We did have quite a bit of stone left from before, so why not? It's not going to be too much actually, but yeah, even like 10 or... Yeah, we're going to get through some, so really it's not a bad idea to actually... We're not selling it, so I'm not really worried unduly about that. How much stones did we have in here? 14,000, so that would make... Yeah, 14,000. Yeah, it is a direct swap, so let's do another one. Let's grab one of those loads, a little trailer that I'm looking at and expecting to read my mind on what I'm talking about. Or do we go a bit bigger? Because these fields are going to be getting quite hefty, I think. We could really do something like the bread all, I would say, because otherwise, or something like the Fendt GTA or the GT, the Xylon, one, either or really would serve as well. Let's just do that. So it is a shame that we didn't buy that other Fendt. Now I am kicking myself a bit, and I did say that I would. Yes, but there will be others in sales. Yeah, not necessarily Fendts, but yeah, it is a shame. But I mean, we'd already got that beautiful big one as well. So I think that was the 900 series rather than the I want to say the 11, but I'm not sure. Is it the 11? 1000 series, isn't it? Yes, so the 1100 is the biggie that I so love. The tracked, I was going to say trailed, the tracked version. I am struggling, I really am struggling. I'm just so tired. I did that trick where I sort of fell asleep for an hour and then woke up and I thought, oh, you're going to have to, yeah, although you're shattered and you're like to the core of your being, you're really tired, you're still not going to be able to get to sleep now because you've done that cardinal thing of an hour's sleep where your body sort of like thinks it's... Yeah, it's a trick that some friends, colleagues, yeah, I would say friends, yeah, obviously work friends, both real nice gents that I worked with a long time ago when I worked for Ryder System Care, and they taught me the trick of like going to sleep for an hour in the morning and then waking up and then staying up all Saturday, and then they said that you will almost fall asleep at tea time because your body... It's a trick, and it like your body's like exhausted, and then you'll just like flick yourself to sleep. And it is true, it did work quite well. But it does. It's a natural thing that we all do as well. If you do like snooze off for an hour by mistake, and then you wake up for some reason, most of us, it really is a bit of a pain. Right, so we want to be going through till tomorrow. That's busy doing that. We've done everything, I think now. Don't think there's anything I've missed. No, that's all good. Buffalo milk. Yeah, that is all good. So let's go through till January morning. 9 o'clock. Yeah, so I basically, I've only done the top section of this silo so far. And I mean, obviously I can make the hexagon bigger and smaller and that type of thing for the different models. Ooh, okay, that was unexpected. But not a terribly good ticket, but not a terrible production cost were quite a bit as well. But then they would be, because obviously we're buying and selling our fertilizer. So all that we've got, this is the original Abbey. It's a very good price, but we've already got some tankers out already, so... Right, let's get that underway. Have we finished with our tractor across the road? Because we could really do with you. Or, actually, I think we'll borrow you anyway, because it's going to be very difficult to... Yeah, I don't think we would carry on in this snow, would we? So the game may allow it, but which we know, because it's just done another like length of that in the... yeah, a whole length. My words. Yeah. I stick some in this shed, but it's rather narrow. But it's very reminiscent of a shed that I really do like myself, actually, in the game. It's I think it's the old time shed pack. It's really nice. It's a bit taller than this, but it's quite nice with quite a lot of multiple bays. Let's grab you and let's like get our daily amount of, mixing done. I'll then check the amount of milk that we've got, because it should be quite a lot. Oh, well, it should really be double what it was before, which was 3,000 odd litres. So really 6 odd. Oh, I think it was 2005 sometimes, though, so I can't really say what the norm is going to be. So let's do 2 hay first. As I do the straw, it's grab the first thing we come to, and then we'll do another straw at the end for the actual bedding. And I'm hoping if we carry on with one, but it may come at some point, obviously, that now we're up to 200, that we really need to do a couple of beddings a day, maybe. Let's just have a look at how actually we are doing in the straw department. 97,000 litres, and TMR is 125, so that's mixing nice. Oh, now the slurry's gone immediately up a lot, as has the manure. So yeah, we obviously, that means the fertiliser business is going to get to, and also the other thing is we need to be grabbing quite a lot. Let's do the straw. It's on straw. Let's just literally do this and take it straight through. Yes, I've done the bottom section of the model that is going to be my new model, and it is one that I've done myself. I'm trying to move away from the obviously using. There was a comment that Giants made, and it really did infuriate me a little bit, because it just seemed such an unfair comment to say. It's obviously an off-pat one, because it's the one that got my teeth early on. Now, it is my own fault. I do admit it, like I said earlier, that I have not done it properly. I've not done the pictures correctly, and admitted it's not the end of the world, but it is. Giants, they like their order, and they like things to be good, so that it is good for everybody, and that the modelling is done to a high standard. That's all good. But obviously, I haven't sort of adhered to that properly, so I am going to pull my socks up, and I am going to do that. Oh, we've left that away a bit. Yeah, well, we could reverse out, really. It's not the end of the world. So we'll try one, and then we'll crack on with the straw and that. So, but it's this spamming the mod tub comments that they made, and about using their models. And I thought, hang on a minute. Half of the mods in the mod hub are based upon a rip-off of like your models, and some of them are just recoloured. And I'm like, well, I could have done colouring on mods a long time ago. I thought, that's not that tricky, not when you start to mod at all. But it just sort of infuriated me about spamming the mod up. It's obviously a comment that they get ready, because it's exactly the same wording. It's obviously a copy and paste comment that Giants do. Now, I understand that there is a certain element that they've got right, but it's really an infuriating comment. Very, very, and also very unoriginal when it's just a copy and paste comment that they do, and it is I find the wording quite rude, and be careful, let's not take out that. It does, and I thought, I'm going to stop using your models, I'm going to use my own, and then there's none of this, like, that comment is going to be a total waste. It's a bit like the Razek. It was derived from the Razek, my original, but it only derived. I literally took it into Blender. You cannot use a Giants model. You've got, if you take the basic shape into Blender and blender it, it's still not Giant shape anymore. You have modelled it. You've shrunk it, added bits to it. I did add bits to it. The model of the Razek falls to pieces. It does something weird in the middle. And the spinner section drops down, which is why I decided I was going to make my own spinner originally. So I did, and that spinner was all my own work. It was all my own parts. But it did infuriate me when they said about you, if you've done anything to this model and we are wrong, then raise a comment. And I'm like, and I did then get a bit cheeky back. Admittedly, I because they were like basically accusing me of using the Razek. So I took a picture of the Razek right next to mine, and like as if to say, well, is this the Razek? Did anyone ever bother looking at this? Because like it's not the Razek. It's not at all. But I thought, you know, rather than use something even similar to like what Giants did, I thought just change the model. So I might even do the Razek for like, it's just I did fall in love with it. I did, and I wanted it to be based upon that, with the same premise as the Razek, but it was a cheap fertilizer spreader that BI Industries delights in sort of pleasing people with reasonably priced things, and I thought it suited me right at the beginning of the modding to do that particular sort of thing. Obviously, the cone of mine is a hugely different to the Razek, so it's a different shape, a different size. So I you know, sort of really does infuriate with this off-pat comment that Giants have done, even though I know they've got certain reason to say some of it's really rather infuriating. Right, so then, no, we've not finished yet. We need to be grabbing the liquid, which we can really at the minute. But I do think it's true. I do think, in fact, let's do it now. We're already getting to the point where it's not going to be big enough, like using that 14 odd tonner. We could go the middle, but I think we'll cut out the middleman and we'll just go big straight away, because it is hefty. I've got to be honest. So it really is. If anything, I've probably underdone my. Do we keep this as well? The dirty small. It's probably not a terrible idea. Okay, we'll leave it just here at the side until it gets in the way, and then we'll put it away. I do some things that yes. Let's go through the field. So I'm not sure how far we got with this because there's snow on the ground. Shall see when the snow disappears. Well, we have done. I do like this. The lovely bit of head-on where you can drop your header and actually put it on without losing any of your field. Yeah, so that Cavalier Roy, he really does pay attention to the detail and sort of try. I'd say JM Gaming and Cavalier Roy are two of my favourite map makers because they really do go the extra mile for you, the player. Right, so then. Well, I don't think I've ever used this properly. I don't think so. Right, so we're going to get barrels, as Giants call them now. I would call them tankers personally, but yeah, we always seem to have this need to change things up. Now, I do sort of understand this. I was trying to think from Giants' perspective the other day, and I thought, so is this one? I think, yeah, it is this one. This is the Beast. The Beast as it is. I will do some colours, but it is silver, so yeah, it's fantastic. Yeah, it is a whopper. It really is a tank-sized sort of thing, and it is very, very long as well. So I've tried to keep tweaking the drawbar. I've stretched it a little bit actually. I might have to do things. I can't remember if I got this. Yeah, no, it's still wrong. It's still very, very deep underneath, so I still need to adjust that again. But the drawbar itself, yeah, somebody. Again, it's the fact that yeah, when you let go, it does sit on all four wheels, but it rests just on the front two. Of course, when the liquids are in, it probably would lean more heavily down. In reality, I don't know with in the game whether it would or not. I've got another sticker for this as well. Yeah, I've got it on one of the models, but I think it might be my testing mods, but it is going to be my new liquids sign. It actually is all of the different liquids in colours. It's quite an intriguing sort of thing. It's got like slurry, it's got digestate, it's got like milk and all of these type of things in liquid form as the letters liquids. So yeah, I like the one. That one is nice, but this is even more apt, I think. So let's grab. Ooh. You see, you've actually blocked the little robot. Let's, like, get that out of his way. You see, and this is what I'm saying, what dropping things down does for you. I don't know. Yes, I've yet to do horses. I must literally do one Let's Play that's dedicated to them. We'll have a go at them, because I have not, I don't know that I did it at all throughout the entire FS22. As I said, it was actually one of my favourite starts in FS19 when you'd got the horse. You know, obviously there's a lot of mods, and there are in FS2025 a couple of mods at least that do like the horse care, like you're paying someone to look after your horses, which again, let's be honest, that's how stables work. Yeah, it's weird. A few people in FS19 used to sort of like complain, because obviously you can't do the script-based mods on console, and there was a lot of grumbling about it, and I'm like, well, I think it's realistic, because to be honest, in real life you would have stable hands, you know, the stables, that you can't just have one owner that does all the jobs in a stable. It just won't happen. So, right, so really, this has pretty much got, I think it still is the front. Yeah, it's where the black pipe is. I tried to do the dump bits. Yeah, you can see it is actually touching the ground as well once it's got liquids in, and then obviously it, like, lifts up a little bit at the back, and oh no, let's go back in his little hole, I think. Yeah, fantastic. Manure is in already. We can't do anything about that, so we do want to do the milk, I would say, and we'll see how much we're up to. No sense of direction. I'm making things very difficult for myself. Yeah, I did the Abbey myself to begin with, but I thought it's time that you start to do your own modelling now. You can do it, so like, let's get this done. So I have. I'm changing now to my tankers. Whether they don't look as good as the Abbey, but then they will get, oh my life, 9,000 litres. That is quite amazing. I probably missed some of yesterday's. I've got to do them, surely. Excuse me, I've got a real frog in my throat. Right, so then. Yeah, so 50% reproduction and 10% reproduction, so not bad at all. Right, so that's done. Feeding of the animals is up to 125,000 litres. The meadow is still providing a little bit, although I find that hard to believe. The straw is also on the way up, so it's be interesting to see what tomorrow morning will bring, and like what, yeah, I mean, the fertilizer business is growing already. This is the one thing, obviously, with Cavalier Roy's map, where you start to go into thousands or real hundreds in the herd, it sort of becomes beyond the capability of any equipment to grab the things and like use them. This is what I found on Maypole before. Oh my god! Oh wow! That is thick. So I don't think we're going anywhere. I think we're going to be like coasting a little bit on the food we've already put in, so it's a good job we did heavily, because that we're going nowhere in this. That's well too thick. Yeah, it is. Let's have a look at the sales. It's standard quadrant though, isn't it? Yeah, it's nothing special. It's in so much as it's standard bale sizes, which is small. If I was going to buy that, I think we'll buy it and sell it. Ooh, you say that. You can actually keep it down there and sell it next month, so I think we will, because of that. I'm not sure about how we can like clear the decks though. That's going to be a bit yeah. How are we doing on the bionic? What we got in? Oh, it dealt with a lot. It should do though. So yeah, that's up to like what now, the buffalo mozzarella. That's not right. That is really terrible. I've almost, it's like it's knocked back to Giants type. Yeah, we're doing like 200 or 300 litres a day. I need to up that because that's terrible. Yeah, I do think you should get 2 or 3 tons a year. So it really shouldn't be like 100 and something litres. Did I shoot that field skate? Yes, I did. Oh my life, look at the cows. They're up to their midriff. That is thick. So I've never seen that thick before. That is really thick. Ooh, yeah, that's sort of popped as well. Right, so then, let's go through to March morning and hope that, yeah, we don't, that the snow disappears. I will spit my words out honest. And I would say this is probably not a bad place to leave it. We'll just check the sails. Hopefully that rain will have cleared that monstrous amount of snow, and oh, it has. Now that wave seemed a little bit faster. Oh my life. Oh my, now we will immediately, let's get the feeding done on that before we look at the sails. Because we did like coast a little bit on yeah, what we'd got already, so glad that we did sort of like crack on where we're putting a lot in every day. Wow, look at that manure. Oh, yeah, it's getting big in it. It really is. Wow. Is it? Does it? Well, it does. Every time I've looked, it does take the manure down. Like by it is ticking down. Or it was. So I'm. Again, this is the trouble with this type of thing. Unless you're going to shove your productions that's real very, very far away, you're always going to have this problem. Now then, what is the food down to? Let's have a look. Oh, yeah, it's still doing very well. 12,000 litres of buffalo milk. So we now need to do a couple of rounds with our little, and we may have to buy another bigger one as well. Yeah, it does. If you get too large with your animals, it's sort of, I find it gets a bit stressful because you're like, lug, 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 lug. And when you're trying to create content, I think it detracts from it. And I was at the end of Maypole last time. I was like, this is a real load of work. I've got to time lapse this every single time because otherwise it's going to get really old. If I insist upon showing everything, at that point you sort of like need to do unrealistic for the fact of the content, not for any other reason. You need to be able to lug 100,000 litres at a time because you're dealing with such a scale and you'd be there for so long. Not because I'm afraid to like do that normally, but because it's you creating content, and you've got to offset the boredom factor with reality as well. And I personally think, anyway, again, if you all disagree with that, then I did love Mark Thor's 140 tonner, I think it was. I think that's right, 110 tonner or something like that. I think I did too, didn't I? I did. I'm gonna do another big straw run. So yeah, again, I'm trying. This is one of those things I've done over and over again. I've tried to use this model and stretch it, make it bigger, but I'm not going to do that now. It's just not working. So I'm going to make my own model, which I have already done quite a bit. So yeah, is that going down? If we stand next to the manure pit, does that go tick down one at a time like it was doing? I'm trying to look. Manure 147,887. Now there's no slurry in, so it won't be ticking down at the minute because it's just sitting there. Yeah, obviously we like used all of the slurry. I would have thought the mini self-sufficiency is not the best at doing this. So it's like does 80 odd tons, I think, a night. So yeah, the slurry's completely gone, which is why it's not ticking down at all the manure, because it's used the slurry component. So let's grab a straw, take that inside for bedding. Yeah, so my flatbed's nearly finished. So then as soon as that is done, I'm going to start to concentrate on a lorry. I am basing it upon this type of model, the push type. Yeah, because I do like this. I want a push. I fell in love with the H2 Studios 70 tonner in FS22 and 19. Yeah, it's was my favourite lorry, and again, it was a push too. I want a bigger one, so it's going to be longer. I'm not sure about the height, because I always find if you go too high, it causes issues with the smaller harvesters, which you invariably have at the beginning of the game. So usually on most farms, if you go new farmer, you get the base harvester that, you know, like of whatever that is. And obviously we've got JHHG's beautiful one that I do love, so we're very fortunate. Let's just oh wow, let's go grab a couple of loads of milk. I don't think we can't do it in one anymore, I don't think. Or is this? Ooh. Just about there. Ooh, wow. Oh, that's the snow again. Snow damage. Right. No, we did. We took it in, didn't we? So, yeah, we did the... That's it. So, let's have a look. How do we look after that? Yes, you're nearly there. We are definitely getting higher rather than lower. And that we need to do the slurry with a big tank. And this really is the bestest option. We'll also have a quick look at... Yeah, we do need another biggie though. I mean, I know the first one's 250 horsepower. It's not too terrible. It's still quite light. Not really a massive powerhouse, but it isn't terrible. I thought that was a really good starting tractor, really. No. It's just going to be... Yeah, it's obviously harder to turn, but it does do that. You can see they are the same model, but they are completely different. Completely different from one another. I think this may be a bit too big. I think actually it would probably be more like a... I don't know. I think 50 odd tons. I think it's probably, I'd say, about right, personally. Yeah, I'm not sure my wheels are in the right place, but then... Oh, I don't know. No, actually, it's fairly. No, it is actually fairly back. I think I need my fill rate increasing a little on this model. Yeah, I don't know, like I've actually made it. I'm trying to make all of mine sort of reasonably fast, not sillily, but well, I don't know. I mean, yeah, when I think about Omatana's. With the TARDIS sort of set, they are very quick fillers, and a lot of the other modders, when they're doing something like that, do it so it is nice and quick. So do another one of these. Yeah, so you shall soon be seeing my hexagons, and I'm going to do a bit at the bottom that's like stone. That goes up sort of like probably a couple of sections, and then the next section is all going to be the wood effect. Not sure. I'm not basing it on this model at all. It's completely my own sort of work, and there's quite a few. I'm going to do different boardings for different models and different stones for different models, just to sort of like, yeah, to shake it up a bit so that the models are completely different, and so that giants can't say our models, because it's not going to be theirs at all. In fact, no one has ever done a hexagon that I'm aware of in the game, so it should be unique. And also, as I said, really as earlier on, one of the best shapes for a room, really, a room type. So we should now see that the manure is ticking down a little bit. Yeah, that went down four bits of manure, so it really is now working, and it is properly taking the manure down, which is what it's not cheating, it's not like it's using it but not using it, really is using it. And that's what I always said in FS22, it needed like that to work properly. If this is a thing, I keep hitting that. Let's just try. I might make it a bit taller, but then it's going to cause issues with other things. I think I don't know. Yeah, I think it's not far off for a 50-yard tonner. It is a big. I think the drawbar, I've sort of made it smaller, and then I was forever hitting the. So I don't know. I think, and it's not too wide either. Maybe a little bit higher. Maybe I can do a little bit bigger, and maybe a little less long. Might be a slightly better optimal shape, where it's a bit taller. I think it's still as high as the tractor, which is not really too terrible. Let's have a look at the sails while that's... ooh, a crampy dolly. The Brant. The Logi trailer. Agro Logistics. Do we need the Osdoken? No, it's a cultivator. Do we buy that? We've got our own. I think it's cheaper than that anyway, I'm sure. I've got my own dolly now, that we did a while back. I was trying to. Have got a dolly, that a long-term project that's been sort of stuck, and I've not had a go of it for a long time. I'm sure there's a dolly transport bit down at the bottom, isn't there? I'm sure there is. I think there is dollies. I can't see it, but I'm sure there is. It does ring a bell. Or is it up near that? You'd expect it to be near the lorries, really. It's probably me that's got my... Nope, it really is, as you said, it's not the way you'd expect it to be. So it's either in the miscellaneous, I think it is, that rings a bell actually, as I've just said it. Of course, there are different miscellaneouses. Yeah, this is the miscellaneous. So there's the Crampy Dolly, and then there's the BI Industries version of the Crampy Dolly as well. And there's also others. There's this one here by the Lizard Old Dolly, which is also... It's got a lot of wheels. I was quite intrigued with this one. Yeah, I used to use the H2 Studios ones a lot as mine, but that looks rather intriguing. And then we have got ours that is a tad. It's not an old, but it is reclaimed materials, and that is the BI Industry. I'm trying to add a rear attacher, but it's resisting my attempts so far. But yeah, I won't show, will it? Nope, it refuses. So the reverse dolly, now that is something else. Oh, it just shows a lot better than it used to. Yeah, it's the shock support is in the wrong place, but that's better, and it has been for a long time. You can see everything's in the wrong place, but at least everything is appearing, and it has, as you can see, it's for a lorry that actually is a sixth wheel. It was a very early attempt. I may well do something a bit different, but you can see it's got like a 3-point and yeah, all the attaches at the back. So yeah, that's quite stupendous when it's finished, but it is getting there. So yeah, I've not done it for a while, but that's definitely looking a bit better than it has done in the past. I did sort of start. It's roughly based on the Schnuffelstuck, roughly. Not the same model, as you can see. Mine's completely different, but yeah, it is roughly based upon the Schnuffelstuck. The idea of the Schnuffelstuck, only I like the short. If I was going to have this, I don't like the long. I think the short is about perfect. The long is, and I think it costs you more. That's the bit I can't understand. It's more metal. It's more metal and it's cheaper. The better one is twice as expensive. That's the only reason I don't buy it, because it's a cracking idea. It's just too expensive. And for no logical reason, it makes no sense to me that you're paying more and getting less. Right, so it is March. We've looked in the sales. There's not a lot for us to actually buy and sell that is of any use to us, or we could, I suppose, sell the beaver tab, but we'd need we'd need like a lorry, and we'd need a lorry for that as well. And like that would, I suppose you could actually buy the cramp or one of ours and actually shift those. But I'm not going to, though. I'm happy. So we've only got a team of 3. How did we do across the road or that field? Let's have a quick look. Did we manage to nearly finish 109? No, we should have. We've already done it. We can see that we've done that. Let's just jump across. Oh, not too terrible. Actually, this should really be able to manage this. Yeah, it should. Yeah, I've got some proper hooks now that I've actually designed that I blended, so we will be seeing those as well. I should be doing away with my little pins that I reused because I was determined I'm not ever using any other modders bits and bobs. So yeah, they're literally the very pins that you see at the top goes in there. I reused the pins as the little hooks on it because, yeah, and obviously the metals of my own handiwork as well. But yeah, right. So we want to grab you, and we want to grab the plough. I think we'll should manage this, but I think we'll put some normal wheels on. I think we might use the John Deere as the fertilizer stroke thing because it too can have narrows on. So I think we'll take that over as the and keep this as the front loader. Although I may treat this to the Black Sheep modding little. I do love that. It's an amazing bit of kit. So let's set this going. Ooh. Let's remind that. Yeah, I think you need to be in a vehicle again to remind things. You used to be able to. Yeah, so wow. Wow. It's not being reminded. It is, it's just slow. Set this going. So what are we going to do for our seeding and planting? And what are we actually doing for our seeding and planting? Is I just want to see how they... Oh, I was going to put new wheels on one, so just see how this manages. It should really manage okay with 250 horses. Are you gonna like... No, what are you doing? You've done that. Why would you like go over there? Heaven's sake. So it'll still do it. If I like set this going, it'll still do its own thing. Let's just do it ourselves and just see how are we actually managing. Ooh, fairly poorly. Yeah, for saying it's 250 horses, the narrow wheels are that is a test I'd like to actually do. Is how do the different wheels... Now, I did this test very early on in FS22 where I put like big chunky wheels on and it made absolutely no difference at all on the grip or wheel slip or anything like that. So we shall see if we put big tyres on this whether it makes the slightest bit of difference. Let's repair. Let's customise. Let's put a weight on the front as well, I think. Yeah, no, I don't doubles. I'm not a massive fan of doubles. They always get in the way of you driving, but yeah, broad. Any like... Let's have a look at some of the other manufacturers. They're nice tyres. Do they make a difference in weight? Not seemingly not. Let's try the Michelin and see. Oh, they're nice and narrows. Broad double rear. I see a pattern for me. Yeah, no, I will go Nokia and broad, I think, and that way they are free. So, do they make any difference at all? Cabin, no. Front work lights. Weights or front loader coupler. We're having this as the front loader, so we'll just keep it as it is. Yeah. Now then, do you make the slightest difference with having broad tyres, or is it just for show? So our money is really doing very well, which you'd expect. But it would be more if we did this where I was selling the fertilizer legitimate. But again, this is what I'm sort of saying. Sometimes with certain products, there's got to be a bit of a trade-off. Otherwise, it becomes... Yeah, and that, which is why I wanted to do the 5-ton pallets size, because it sort of like offsets that particular problem of like... Now let's just see, did you make the slightest bit of difference? Are you still wheel slipping a lot? Yeah. Yeah, and to me personally, that's made absolutely no difference at all. But it is managing, and it is a fairly hefty plough, so... Let's just set this going and see. Will you be silly and like go to the far edges of the field when you've already done that, or a worker did it already? Now that's more like it. That's sensible and clever. Right, so we've got field 89, which I have not forgotten, has still got straw on it. So we need to like shift this off. So we need to make a decision now. So what are we going to do? We've got a big trade. I think we're going to be in as... We're given a chance. I think the cleanest thing is the mover. So I'm going to go for my mover. I am. I think it's... yeah, I'm going to do some colours on this, like the other person that's done the one similar to this. Fantastic. So that's the option we've gone with. So that's going to get rid of the straw next session. We are going to need a planter. I think we'll buy one. I don't think we'll faff around. I think that what suits an English map, probably what are we going to do? I think we'll have a discussion about that next session. I do. So we'll leave that till next session. So, yeah, all that remains to be said is thank you very much for watching. Truly do hope you're going to stick with me on this journey. And I'm going to say goodbye for now.